Most people buying a rain jacket right now are making their decision based on shelf placement, brand recognition, and how it looks hanging in the store. Not the membrane name, not the seam sealing, not whether it will actually hold when the trail goes sideways and the temperature drops. That is when the jacket reveals itself and when the logo stops mattering. Today, 5 rain jacket traps get exposed, then 7 brands almost nobody searches for get the recognition they have earned. One of them was built for commercial fishermen and may be the most waterproof option on this list. I'm Ranger Jack. 17 years guiding clients through alpine wilderness in the Cascades. No brand deals, no free product. I keep a spiral notebook logging every piece of gear that has failed someone in real conditions. Let's get into it. Number 5, generic Amazon waterproof jackets. You have seen them. Dozens of different brand names that are not really brands, all selling the same basic silhouette with the same aggressive product photography and the same bullet point list. Waterproof, windproof, breathable, lightweight, 4,000 reviews averaging 4.5 stars. Here's the problem with those 4,000 reviews. Most of them came from dog walkers, commuters, and casual shoppers who walked through one light drizzle and reported back that the jacket kept them dry. That is not the same as 6 hours of alpine trail in sustained rain. It is not even close. The review ecosystem does not filter for this. A product accumulates thousands of ratings from buyers who never tested it in the conditions that matter. 4,000 reviews from commuters is not a field test. It is a popularity contest. Generic Amazon jackets do not publish a membrane name because there is no named membrane worth publishing. They do not list a hydrostatic head rating because the number would not survive comparison with real outdoor waterproofing. The DWR coating washes out after a handful of uses, and the seam sealing, when it exists at all, is partial. The stitched stress points at your shoulders and forearms are not sealed. They are just stitched. Light drizzle on a flat walk, you will probably stay dry. 3 hours in sustained Pacific Northwest rain on a trail with any elevation gain. The inner layer saturates. You blame the weather, you should blame the jacket. At the same price point, real entry-level outdoor waterproofing exists with actual seam sealing and published specs. The Amazon generic is not even the cheapest option when you compare it honestly against what actually works. The word waterproof on the listing is doing more engineering than the jacket itself. That is the obvious trap. The next one is trickier because it carries a name people have trusted for decades. Number 4, Columbia Entry and Midline rain jackets. The watertight, the Arcadia. These sit at $60 to $100 at every department store and big box outdoor retailer in the country. Columbia is a real outdoor brand. The name earned its place in the market. But there is a gap between what the Columbia name suggests and what you are actually getting at this price tier, and buyers walk into that gap constantly. Columbia's Omni-Tech label covers a wide range of internal performance. At the entry level, these jackets use basic 2-layer construction, membrane bonded to the outer shell, with a separate inner liner hanging loose. That traps moisture from the inside. When you hike at sustained pace in real rain, your body produces heat with nowhere to go. In a 2-layer jacket with modest breathability ratings, it condenses between the liner and the shell. After 2 or 3 hours of moderate effort, you're wet, not from rain coming in, but from sweat that cannot get out. Here is how you discover that, not in the store. You find out at hour 3 of a 6-hour trip, when your base layer is damp and you cannot tell if you are sweating or the jacket is leaking. At that point, there is no good answer. Seam sealing on these entry models is not always full. Stress points are sometimes stitched, but not taped, which means sustained heavy rain finds a path through those contact zones. And DWR durability is modest. After a season of use and laundering, the outer face starts holding water instead of shedding it, and performance drops further. The nuance that matters. Columbia's OutDry Extreme line is a genuinely different product. OutDry bonds the membrane directly to the exterior face fabric instead of sandwiching it inside, which addresses the condensation problem at its root. But OutDry Extreme costs significantly more, and most buyers in the entry aisle never reach that tier. Columbia at the entry price is the right jacket for a light spring shower on a maintained trail. It is the wrong jacket when conditions become real. That one surprised a few people. The next one is going to bother more because it is $180, and the construction does not justify the second digit. Number 3, athletic brand outdoor lines, Under Armour, Nike. Brands that dominate performance athletics in running and training and have moved that credibility sideways into outdoor gear. These jackets carry marketing language like storm ready and all conditions and sit at $80 to $180. Buyers trust the performance reputation. If a brand makes gear that handles a hard workout in rain, the logic goes it should handle a trail. Here is the problem with that logic. Athletic outdoor jackets are engineered for short-duration, high-intensity use, managing heat and light rain during a 45-minute run, not holding a waterproof barrier for 6 hours of sustained alpine exposure. The membranes prioritize breathability over waterproof barrier durability. Seam sealing is minimal or partial because the intended use case does not demand more. Take the same jacket on a 7-mile ridge hike in sustained rain, drop your exertion level, and the protection degrades. You are wet from condensation, the seams are letting water through at stress points, and you paid $140 for a jacket that was never designed for where you took it. For a 90-minute trail run in light drizzle at high effort, some of these are functional. For hiking, multi-day trips, or sustained precipitation exposure, the design intent is wrong. The price does not fix that. This is a sprint jacket wearing a trail jacket's price tag. The next two are the ones that will actually sting because they come from brands the serious outdoor community genuinely trusts. Number 2, the North Face mid-tier rain jackets, the Resolve 2, the Venture 2, the Antora. Among the most sold rain jackets in the country, carrying the most recognized outdoor logo in the world, priced between $100 and $200. This is where I need you to pay attention. The North Face built its reputation on expedition mountaineering and genuine technical performance, Summit Series gear, Future Light membrane products that earned what they cost. But the Resolve and Venture lines are not those products. They are casual use rain protection built for commuting, travel, and mild weather days. The dry vent membrane in these lines does not match the waterproof breathability performance of what competitors offer at comparable prices. And some current models use partial seam sealing rather than full taping, which means water finds a path through at contact zones under sustained rain. These are not marketed as casual products. The framing presents them as serious outdoor gear, and that is specifically what causes buyers to trust them for conditions they were not built to handle. The problem is not the product. The problem is what the product implies. When you see that logo on the tag and that price, your brain writes a technical story the jacket does not support. You are paying for years of Summit imagery. The jacket underneath was built for a parking lot. I have got this one in the notebook. A client on a 5-day October traverse in the Cascades paid over $180 for a jacket from a major retailer and packed it trusting the logo. By hour 6 on day 2, sideways rain above tree line, jacket wet from the inside, condensation with nowhere to go, group rerouted early. Not because it was defective, because it was the wrong product for where it was taken, and the logo had made that easy to miss. You are paying for the Summit logo. The jacket underneath was built for a parking lot. The final trap on this list is the most complicated, because I actually respect this brand. I just want you to know exactly what you are paying for. Number 1, Patagonia, specifically the Torrent Shell 3L. Let me be precise because this one requires it. The Torrent Shell is a real jacket with real waterproofing. The H2O membrane works. The seam sealing is legitimate. This is not a product that soaks through on a short trail day. If you own one, it is not in the failure column. The issue is what you pay for it and what that money could buy instead. At close to $180, the Torrent Shell competes directly against jackets from Marmot Outdoor Research and Mountain Hardwear. Brands publishing cleaner spec sheets and using membranes with stronger documented performance data at comparable prices, some for $60 to $90 less. But if you are buying the Torrent Shell because you believe it is the best performing rain jacket at that price, specifically the strongest waterproofing value per dollar, the evidence does not clearly support that. You are partly paying for a mission statement. That is a personal choice. It is not a performance choice. Those are the 5 traps pulling buyers away from better options every day. Now here are the 7 brands almost nobody puts on their gear list. Brands that will keep you drier per dollar than almost everything you just saw. Number 1. Frog Togs Ultra Light 2. This jacket does not look like outdoor gear. It looks like something you would find in a bait shop. The packaging is utilitarian, the design is basic, and the price is $25 to $45 depending on where you buy it. Nobody in the hiking community talks about it. No outdoor influencer is building content around it. Here is what it actually does. Non-woven polypropylene fabric construction with full seam sealing. That means the stress points at the shoulders and arms are sealed. For under $50. The waterproofing is genuine. The weight is among the lowest in the category. It packs into almost nothing. This is on my emergency layer list for every client before a multi-day trip. Most do not believe me until they are standing in real rain and still dry. It is not built for abrasion or long-term hard use. For the specific job of keeping rain off your body, when conditions turn unexpectedly, nothing at this price is close. Number 2. Marmot Precip Eco. Marmot does not have the shelf presence of North Face or the brand recognition of Patagonia. Buyers walking through an outdoor retailer walk right past it. That is a mistake. The Precip Eco uses the NanoPro membrane with a published hydrostatic head rating. Seam sealing is full. The 2.5-layer construction improves breathability over basic 2-layer designs. Materials include recycled content. Breathability performance for the price tire is solid and consistent. If someone asked me what to buy under $150 for real trail use in real rain, this is the answer. Every time. It does not carry a famous logo. It just works. Number 3. Outdoor Research Helium Rain Jacket. Outdoor Research has a fraction of the marketing footprint of the major brands. The helium looks almost fragile. Thin, light, quietly designed. Buyers assume a jacket. This light cannot be serious outdoor protection. Or uses the Pertex Shield membrane with a strong waterproof-to-weight ratio. Construction is fully seam-taped. The brand has a genuine alpine testing background and publishes real specifications. The weight is low enough that thru hikers and ultralight backpackers carry it as a primary shell without weight penalty. When you put the weight and the spec sheet next to what you would pay for a more recognizable logo at the same price, the premium elsewhere becomes very hard to explain. Number 4. Helly Hansen. Most hikers associate Helly Hansen with ski resorts and marine workwear and skip it entirely when searching for trail gear. What the hiking community keeps missing, Helly Hansen built its entire brand identity on keeping commercial fishermen and offshore workers dry in sustained brutal conditions, wind spray, freezing rain, continuous wet weather exposure over full working days. The HeliTech membrane is real. The seam sealing is real. The construction prioritizes durability under genuine environmental pressure, not short-duration rain tests. Commercial fishermen trust this brand in conditions most hikers will never encounter. That engineering does not disappear when you take the jacket onto a trail. It is heavier and less packable than ultralight options. But for sustained waterproof integrity under real workload and real exposure time, this is serious gear that outdoor retail buyers almost never consider. Number 5. Showers Pass. Showers Pass lives in the cycling community. Hikers do not find it searching for trail gear, no presence in mainstream outdoor retail chains. Here is what the cycling use case tells you. A rider in sustained Pacific Northwest rain for 2 hours generates constant body heat while simultaneously being rained on. That is a harder breathability demand than hiking at moderate pace. The jacket has to vent intense exertion moisture while holding a waterproof barrier against horizontal rain. Showers Pass builds for exactly that condition, fully seam-taped construction, genuine wet condition testing heritage. If it keeps a cyclist dry and not overheating on a 2-hour Pacific Northwest commute, it handles a trail. For hikers who run warm, sweat heavily, and whose main complaint about rain jackets is internal condensation, this is the brand to look at. Number 6, Goldmines. Goldmines is a commercial fishing brand, found in marine retailers, not outdoor chain stores, not on any hiking influencer's gear list. Commercial fishing demands the most severe sustained waterproofing available: wave spray, freezing temperatures, hours of continuous wet exposure with no option to step inside. Goldmines builds specifically for that environment, fully sealed construction, materials selected for durability under repeated real-world abuse, not marketing photography. For most hikers, this brand is a complete unknown. That is the point. It has never tried to market itself to recreational buyers. But if your use case involves serious, sustained precipitation, Pacific Northwest, old growth, coastal trails, multi-day rain, and actual wilderness, this jacket keeps you dry in conditions that eliminate most of the gear hanging in outdoor retail stores. This is what you carry when staying dry is not optional and the weather will not cooperate. Number 7, Mountain Hardwear. Specifically bought on sale. Mountain Hardwear has had well-documented retail challenges. Store presence has contracted. Buyers do not find their jackets prominently on shelves, and the Dry-Q membrane name does not carry the recognition of Gore-Tex or H2O. None of that changes how the jackets perform. Mountain Hardwear consistently builds technical outdoor shells with published spec sheets and real engineering behind them. Dry-Q has documented breathability performance data. Construction is fully seam-taped. The brand's business struggles have not changed the product. What they have changed is the price. Jackets retailing at $200 to $280 regularly sell for $90 to $140 on sale. 40 to 60% discounts are common. Sign up for the mailing list. Check outlet pricing. At that sale price, you are buying high-end technical performance at entry-level cost. The brand has had business problems. The jacket has not. Buy it on sale, and you have outperformed most of what is hanging on the front wall of any gear store. Before you buy any rain jacket, run through these questions. Is the membrane named? Not waterproof technology, actually named. NanoPro, Pertex Shield, Helitech, Gore-Tex, Dry-Q, H2O. An unnamed membrane is an unverifiable claim. Is the hydrostatic head rating published? 10,000 millimeters or higher is where real trail protection starts. Below 5,000 is light drizzle. Are the seams fully taped or only partially taped? Partial seam sealing leaks under sustained rain at stress points. Is the breathability rating published? An absent MVTR number is information. It means the brand does not want you making a direct comparison. Is the DWR coating described? It washes out over time. Can it be retreated? Is this 2-layer, 2.5-layer, or 3-layer construction? 3-layer is most durable and most breathable. 2-layer is adequate for light conditions and better kept there. Does this jacket match your actual terrain and use duration? An athletic jacket is wrong for alpine conditions at any price. A light trail jacket is wrong for multi-day serious weather regardless of brand. Outdoor conditions do not care about logos. No amount of summit photography changes what happens when the seams let water through and the rain goes sideways. Pull out the rain jacket you own right now. Check the tag. Look up the membrane name. Check whether the seams are taped or just stitched. Then drop the brand in the comments. How many trips have you used it in real rain, and when did it let you down? If it is on the trap list, tell me that too. I want to add it to the log. And if you have found a cheap brand that actually keeps you dry that I did not cover here, put that in the comments. That is the whole point of this. I do not take brand deals. I do not take free product. The notebook does not lie. Let's hear what you've got.